Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I am bringing to you some more amazing wood projects. Project 1 is this handmade tote. I used chicken wire for see-through sides. I think this is going to make great decor for spring. I am using all free wood from a couple of estate sale cleanouts I've done recently. Using these 1x2s, I'm cutting 4 pieces that are 8 inches long and 4 pieces that are 24 inches long. Those are going to be the sides. Is to put chicken wire underneath the top pieces and staple it to those bottom pieces. I've got this roll of rusty old chicken wire. I'm going to straighten a bit of it out here and trim up the ends with some wire snips just to make it a little bit easier to work with. Now, since a few of these pieces were white, I wanted to go ahead and paint some of it first just to make it easier once it was assembled. I am using Sweet Pickins milk paint. This is the color Basil. Milk paint is powder. You mix it a 1-to-1 ratio of warm water to the powder and give it a good mix. Once it sits for about 10 to 15 minutes, it will thicken up to a milkshake-like consistency. If y'all are wondering where to find the paint, products, and my finished projects, you can find them over on my website, upcycledbybrie.com. But I will be sure to link all of that down in the description box below. I'm using my very favorite brush. This is the Klingon, and this is the F30. It's a flat brush, pretty narrow, so it's fitting perfectly on these 1x2s. It's a synthetic bristle, and if you put it in water overnight, the paint virtually falls out the next morning. Now I'm forcing some crackle and chipping on these 1x2s by using my heat gun. You don't have to do this, but if you want extra chipping, I recommend it. Got these put together. You can see I've got the chicken wire stapled on, and then I used my pneumatic nail gun to nail them together. I start to paint them, but I'm not really happy with the way it's looking. I think it looks a little unfinished. So I actually end up cutting some more scrap wood and nailing it over this chicken wire to complete my sides. Now I've got some more pieces of scrap wood here, and I just made a stencil with some cardboard of the shape I wanted for the sides and used my jigsaw to cut it out. Using Gorilla Wood glue and my pneumatic nail gun again, I am assembling the ends to the sides of the tote. Another piece of wood traced and cut down to size to fit the bottom, and I am gluing and nailing it on as well. I'll be sure to link my favorite wood glue, my heat gun, things like that I get off of Amazon down in my Amazon storefront below. There was a gap here in the wood, and you know me, I will take any chance I can get to attach some old rusty metal. Grabbed a hinge from my stash and drilled it on. I painted this tote on a live video if y'all would like to go over and watch that. Once it was painted, I took it outside the next day before our snowstorm and sanded it down using an electric sander. You can see all the beautiful chippiness this milk paint provides. Back inside to finish it up with some white beeswax from Sweet Pickins. This wax is super creamy and easy to apply, and it smells amazing. I apply it in small sections, pretty heavy, with just a cheap stencil brush, and then I use a rag to wipe back the excess, and you'll see it sits down in all of the little grains of the wood just beautifully. Now, I know I've heard from a lot of y'all that you are intimidated to try milk paint, but please do not be. It just takes a little practice like everything else, and the finish that it provides is unlike any other paint I have ever tried. Here is a look at the finished tote. My vision totally came to life on this. You can put any kind of decor in this and be able to see through the sides and see your decor. Leave me a comment below. What would you put inside of this tote? For project 2, I'm using some more pieces of this old bed frame I found a few weeks back. I chopped it all up and salvaged the parts. I made some cute spindle carrots, and now I am using some of the bigger posts to make some risers and salvaged decor. So I painted one of them with the extra basil paint, and then I also used some Sweet Pickins flour sack on the smaller posts. I'm using 100 grit sandpaper and giving these posts and spindles a good distress. These metal pieces were the weights that were holding down an old lamp. Y'all, when I say I salvage pieces, I save all kinds of stuff. So I drilled some pilot holes into my wood pieces and then screwed on my metal rings here using an old screw and a washer. Now the washers look new, but don't worry, I have a solution for that. I'm going to take these back inside where it's warm and use Sweet Pickins dark oil wax to antique the wood even more. I apply it on heavy with an old cheap chip brush and let it sit and soak into the wood for about 15 minutes. Shiny washers on top, I'll use a little bit of DIY Dark and Decrepit. This is a multi-use product. You can use it to stain wood, you can use it as a decoupage medium, but it is self-sealing, so once it's dry on this metal, it will seal up and it will not go anywhere. After about 15-20 minutes, I take a dry rag and wipe this oil wax back. Now this is an oil-based product, so make sure you're disposing of your rags properly. I use a metal trash can with a metal lid. To finish off this huge piece of salvage, I have got clear beeswax from Sweet Pickins. You can see as I apply it, it richens up that paint and richens up the wood beautifully. It is an all-natural product and it smells amazing. Now I'm going to go in with grit. This is an aging dust from Sweet Pickins, and it is a powder form. You apply it over the wet wax or a wet top coat, and it makes your piece look even more aged and antique. Here is a look at my industrial farmhouse wood and metal risers. What do y'all think? Do you think that you could take trash from the curb and turn it into treasure now after watching my video? Leave me a comment below. I'd love to know if you think you're going to try this. Y'all have probably seen me make decor boards before. I will go ahead and link a video here though in the corner if you have not, showing how I make them. On these, I am taking some old rusty hinges and putting them on for a unique touch. I drilled a pilot hole in first, and again old rusty crusty nails to attach the hinges. To give the farmhouse vibe, I wanted to stencil on a year. I'm using DIY Tarnished Pearl for the color, my JRV stencils. This is the letter number trio pack, and I've got my 3/8 inch stencil brush. Now these stencils are amazing. They are thick and they are made for retailers, so you can use them over and over again. The key to a good stencil is a very dry brush. You'll see I grab just a little bit of paint, then I offload most of that paint onto the paper towel, and using a swirling motion, I apply the paint over the stencil. This does give me a nice, clean, crisp image. And the freshly cut sides in with the older stained wood, I am using DIY dark wax. It is a super creamy consistency, all natural, so I can use this inside and it is going to blend perfectly with this old wood. I'm just using, again, an old chip brush, applying it along the edges and the sides, a little tiny bit on the front, wiping back any excess. I apply it over that tarnished pearl paint and it gives me a beautiful antiqued number. What do y'all think? Is that a big improvement there or what? Here is a look at the final finished boards. Of course, these will be up on my site, available for purchase as well.
It was a gorgeous week here in Kansas and I had so much fun doing these wood projects for you. I hope you enjoyed watching today's video. If you did, please be sure to give me a thumbs up and share this video with a friend who likes to do wood projects as well. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell next to it so you don't miss any new uploads. And until next time, I will see y'all later. Bye, friends.
Y'all, I came out here to get my gloves this morning. And guess who left their windows open last night? Yeah, Upcycled by Bree, she sure did. Well, let's figure this one out.